Hi, this is Amit Patel and welcome to Musings by Amit Patel. Recently, I heard a very successful entrepreneur say, after watching many young entrepreneurs fail within 3 years of starting a business, I have become far more interested in the ability to keep a business going than I am in the ability to get one started. Today, it is really easy to start a business and it is not hard to make a little bit of money in the beginning. But possessing something that lasts a long time is hard. And making it immune from competition is the most essential part of building a long term business. What about you? Are you afraid of starting a business? Just because 90% of all businesses fail in its first 3 years? Do you want to start a long term business by finding the right business idea? If yes, then you need to watch this entire video because by the end of this video, I am going to give you a two-step formula to start a long-term business. I'm also going to talk about a very successful entrepreneur who used this exact formula. He was able to find the right business idea using this formula and then create a long term business that is immune to competition. I am talking about Jeff Bezos. He is not the only one using this formula. There are thousands of entrepreneurs using the exact same formula. In 1994, Jeff Bezos saw the internet was growing at a speed of 2300%. At that time, he was an executive in some company on Wall Street. He started thinking about businesses he could build on the internet. After doing some research and creating several business plans, he thought selling books online would make a great business. Why did Jeff make a decision about selling books online on the internet? Because he thought that the internet is the only place where you can catalog 1 million books. This decision was based on a gap in the market that no one else could see at that time. No companies were selling books online in those days. And there was no single bookstore that could house 1 million books. Also, from all the big bookstores in the world, it was quite evident that there was a huge demand for books. So Jeff decided to fill this gap by building an online bookstore. Do you see the formula that CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, used to start Amazon? We already know that Amazon is unbeatable in its space and its growth has not yet stopped. He was able to identify the gap in the market, and this gap had a good demand. So you can build a long term business like Jeff by finding the right business idea. Let us look at the exact formula Jeff used to find the right idea to start Amazon and create a long term business out of it. The formula is a two-step process you need to do in order to find the right business idea. The first step in the process is to find a gap in the market. And the second step is to make sure that there is a good demand for this gap in the market. Though this formula looks very simple, you will see that if you follow this formula of finding the gap in the market in any industry or profession, after that you would do enough research to identify the demand for the gap. Then you can find a business idea that will help you in building a long term business. Let me explain this formula in detail so that you can use it to find the next ultimate business idea. Let us look at some of the examples of this formula in action. In the 1970s, many people got attracted to programming. Programming was treated like a hobby. But two people, Bill Gates and Paul Allen, saw the gap. They found an increasing need for software programs. When Altair 8800 computer came in the market, they jumped on an opportunity to develop programs for that. Thus, a software development business, Microsoft, was launched in 1975, and Bill Gates saw the gap in the market and there was demand for that gap. Moreover, Bill Gates was able to create a long term business, finding the right business idea of developing software products. Let us look at another example. In 1995, 37-year-old gentleman named Dr. Velumani decided to quit his job that he held for 15 years. He wanted to set up a thyroid testing lab in middle of Mumbai. The thyroid testing was very costly and also a very slow process. He saw the gap in thyroid testing. The gap was related to the cost of testing and the speed of getting the report. There was already a huge demand. So Dr. Velumani set up ThyroCare. He set up the business in such a way that it started delivering thyroid tests at a cheaper cost within 48 hours delivery of the reports. Thus, Dr. Velumani was able to create a long-term business with ThyroCare by identifying the gap in the market of thyroid testing. Today, ThyroCare is a 3,000 crore company. Both these entrepreneurs, Bill Gates of Microsoft and Dr. Velumani of ThyroCare, found a gap in the market that had enough demand to create a long-term business in the industries of their interest. So you can find the right business idea and start a long-term business. The only thing you need to do is use this two-step formula. The first step is to find the gap in the market, and the second step is to make sure that there is enough demand for the gap you have already identified. Now, the question is, how can you find this gap? Jeff Bezos found a gap because of his interest in technology. Bill Gates found a gap because of his interest in programming. Dr. Velumani found a gap because of his interest in thyroid testing. So, the easiest way you can find a gap in the market is because of the things you are interested in. Think about this. What are your interests? Do you have interest that you are passionate about? Are there things that you want to try and learn more and find as much information as possible? What are the things where you are ready to spend your money, time, and energy? When you start exploring your interest more and more, then you will also find that there are problems associated with your interest that need some solution. These problems can become the gap in the market. So, the best way to find the gap is to observe the things you are interested in and looking at the problems with those things. For example, if you are interested in building mobile applications and you find out that a particular type of mobile application is not yet available, or even if it is available, it is not as good as you would like it, then you have a gap in the mobile applications market. Other way to find this gap is at your job. If you are working at your job and you meet a lot of people in your industry who are complaining about something that no one is listening, then that is the gap you can explore. Even if you have your own business, you can find a gap when you talk to your customer and he asks for a product or service that you do not have. Then the need for that product or service may become the gap in the market. You can explore this gap and see if it is within your reach to create a product or service around it. So you can find a gap in things you are interested in by observing what is missing and causing a problem for people or some need that is unsatisfied. That gap can become your next business idea. Once you are able to identify the gap, then you have to ensure that you follow the second step. The second step is to make sure that there is enough demand. If you identify the gap, then you should also find out how many people have the same problem and are they interested in some solution to these problems. Like in case of Jeff Bezos, there was already a demand for books, but no one was making them available online. In case of Bill Gates, there was a demand for software programs, but most programmers were treating this as a hobby. In case of Dr. Velumani, thyroid testing labs were already present, but the cost was high and the speed was slow for the test. You can see that there was a lot of demand before these entrepreneurs started their business. So you need to find out if there is a demand for the gap you have already identified. The best way is to do research about the gap you have found. Talk to people who might have problems with that gap. Talk to people who can become potential customers for your business. You have to listen to the exact problem they are facing and what kind of a solution they are expecting. In this way, you can find the demand for the gap you have found in the market. If you follow this two-step process, one to identify the gap in the market and then to find enough people talking about the gap, then you have found the right business idea to start a long-term business. Well, this is the formula that many entrepreneurs have used to start a successful business. It is my wish that you are also able to find the right business idea and start a long-term business by using this two-step formula. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video and it is the right video for you, then give it a like because it will help me to understand the needs and create a good content for you. Here are some ways on how to get the most out of this YouTube channel, Musings by Amit Patel. The first thing you need to do is to subscribe to this channel, because when you subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon, you will get instant notification to any new videos I upload here. The second thing you need to do is to share this video on your favorite social platforms, because there are thousands of people who read and watch what you post online. They are looking for videos that can transform their lives, and you are going to help them by sharing this video, also becoming a part in their journey of success. The third and the most important thing is to leave a comment. It is not important that you agree with me or disagree with me, but it is important about what you think about this video, and if you have any suggestions about the next video I should make here, because that will help me craft my future videos for you. Please be gentle in your comments. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. Make sure you check my earlier videos and see that you have not missed any of my earlier videos. Stay focused, stay rich. See you again in my next video.